I'm Rahul Talreja. I'm the product manager for application enablement, and today I will be covering the section for AI and app enablement. So as usual, I will be actually taking you through the innovations we have been doing for the past quarter live. So I think we do this generally, and I think it has received some good feedback from the customers as well. So let's continue in the same way. So the first update. So you would have noticed that in the past year, we had introduced a new feature called Manage Preview Features. This was the section where we had made available many new preview features. And one good news is that in the last month, we have moved many of the preview features to GA. And today I will be first covering the enhancements we have done in those preview features, which are now made available in GA, and then taking you through with some of the upcoming features. So the first feature I would like to highlight is the data point graph and the data point explorer. So we had made this available last year in preview and made significant enhancements during the past few quarters. And this has been now made available in GA. So all the data point graph, which are currently available on your dashboards, will automatically get updated to the new one. The new one is based on Angular. Apart from having many performance enhancements, this now provide much more flexibility and helps you to visualize data in much more better way. So the first update, I think this allows adding data points, alarms, events as same as the previous one. We have now added a decimal places option so that you can limit the decimal places being displayed in the graph. So when you click on an specific data point, the number of data points is limited here. A lot of axis options have been also made available over here, which are worth mentioning. So for an example, you can now select to either merge or kind of have unique access for your data points. You can so all the data points which share a same min and max range will get automatically merged. In case if you still would like to merge all the data points, you can also select that as an option. We have also made a new option available in the last month that where you can set the data, this graph to start at particularly at 0. Similarly, a new slider has been introduced now. So at the bottom, you can see that a slider is now made available. So when you kind of change the selection in the slider, the data in the widget gets updated. So this has been also made available with the new widget. One new enhancement is the option to display the data points either on the graph, or you can just make this available as a drop down. So you can select this as an option, the data point legend. So we have an auto option, which makes it so above 4 number of data points automatically shifts to a list, or you can manually decide how you want this to be displayed. Similarly, the Data Explorer also now utilizes the exact same the version of the data point graph with one important enhancement. So now we also have a configuration section where you can now create as many as configurations you want. And once the configuration is available, you can now also share this with your team members via this URL. So this configuration is stored in your browser, which is reflected in the URL. So when you share this with your team members, the exact same view gets open on their tenant if they really have the access to the device as well. And that gets saved in their browser as well. So you can now share these configurations, which makes it easy working within a team. So both these have been made available to all the customers in GA now. This provides the same configurations options at the bottom. This has been also integrated within the new export component. So you can export the data which is visible in either in a full format or in a compact mode. Coming back to the dashboard. Okay, yeah. One another key announcement which we have brought in the last quarter is the global time context. You would have noticed this global time context in the past where the time context was available in a single option. So now this has been divided into 2 parts, either a live mode or a history mode. One new key announcement over here is that now you can set the default time window for which the dashboard opens up by default. Previously, this was linked in each widget, and now it's been made available on the dashboard level. So now if I select that the dashboard should be visible for last date and save this in the dashboard configurations, now whenever this is the dashboard is now opened again, this will open by default with last day. Even if I change it now, but when you refresh, it will go back to the last day. And another option is which has been made available now is the history mode. So here you can decide what's the like when you're trying to analyze the data for some of the past time range, you can now move to the history mode and select the aggregation, the related time, and then you can like visualize the data. And this as well can be saved in the dashboard configuration. So if you save this in the dashboard configuration, next time when you refresh, you will open the dashboard in that particular time range. This is also considers a rolling time window. So if I select a particular time, which starts from, let's say, maybe 12 in the night, let's say 12 in the night, then it kind of keeps rolling. So it also takes care of this time rolling window and accordingly shows you the data. So this has been also made available in GA, so you all will be able to explore this as well. One key announcement over here is the linking of these dashboard widgets with the global time context. Now I can very easily link or delink the widgets from this global time context. If I delink, the time selection comes on the widget view itself. Similarly, so I can now decide that which of these widgets are linked to the time context and which one have particular time selection in the widget itself. And apart from this, the widgets also have an option to allow you to configure this further. So if I select the time context to be only available on the widget, I can decide if I want to show this in the widget or not in the widget. And I can accordingly set the timing and the refresh windows in the widget configuration itself. Just as a info over here that in case you have custom widgets which were utilizing the global time context, you will now need to migrate to the newer one. Otherwise, there will be a break in the older widgets which you had developed in custom way for utilizing the global time context. Now I would be moving to some of the widgets which are going to be kind of available in preview in the coming months. So one of that widget is the SCADA widget. So in the last quarter, we had provided you with an updated version of HTML widget, where we had made components available in the HTML widget, which allows you to kind of create components directly within the HTML widget. Now, a similar upgrade has been provided to SCADA widget. The SCADA widget will now allow you much more configurational options. So in the new version, so in the previous version, the only mechanism to create a SCADA widget was to upload an SVG file. In the new version, you can either upload the SVG file or you can also paste the code of the SVG file over here. Once you paste the code of the SVG file, the placeholders which were available in the SVG are also made visible in the config section itself. This was not possible earlier, which required users to edit the SVG outside and then import it again. In the newer one, you can click anywhere on the SVG, any of the text, and you can add that as a placeholder in your SVG. So now I can here decide that this placeholder is the let's say, name of the device, or this placeholder is, let's say, the ID of the device, and I can accordingly update it directly in the UI. So previously, if you had 20 placeholders, and if there was even a mistake in the single one, it would have created a problem when you are importing here. You need to manually edit, import, which is not the case now. And same as I said, the editor has been enhanced. So this allows you to utilize the lit element components, as similarly as we had introduced with the HTML widget in the last quarter. And once this is available, you can then use as you were already utilizing this, but with more configurational options over here. Yes. So I'm also showcasing one of the live widget over here, where I have linked the parameters directly to the properties of the device over here. So here I have linked it to the last measurement, and here I have linked it to a property of the device. And along with this one, this is also now utilizing the new property component. So now you have a new add property component, which many of the new widgets are now utilizing, and it will be also getting added to the existing other widgets like asset property widget. Here you can now select all the properties available on the asset or the device, and you can as well as utilize the computed properties over here. Yeah. One another update over here is that the HTML widget, which we kind of provided in preview in the last quarter, has been also made available in GA now. So all your existing HTML widgets will continue working as it is, and if you kind of edit those widgets, you'll now be able to utilize the new functionalities in the HTML widget. One another upcoming widget is the asset table widget. The asset table widget is currently being migrated to Angular, and this is the first preview version which I'm showcasing to you, and this will be also available in the coming month. So now the asset table widget utilizes the data grid component and as well as the add property, the new add property component. Here I can select any of the properties available on the asset or the device, and as well as I can select any of the computed properties like the alarms count, last measurement, and I can add that in the widget. The new widget is much more flexible. So it allows you to kind of do a lot of filtering and sorting in the widget configuration itself. So now if you provide a filter within the widget, so this will be available by default to all the users who are visualizing this widget. And on top of that, if when they are visualizing this data, they can also add another filter in the dashboard itself. And there are much more display options now. So until now, the widget used to only display the direct descendants of that asset. So if so in this case, I have a factory and I can see the production line 1, which is a direct child subassets of the factory. But now I can simply select an option and I can display all the devices assets which are part of the whole this hierarchy. So this enhancement also allows you to configure the widget in much more flexible manner, which was not possible earlier. You can also decide if you want to make filters active or like to be displayed in the widget or not. You can decide if you want to allow users to configure the column. You can kind of decide this the how the table is looking into, and with this you can now make kind of utilize this widget in much more use cases than the previous one. One another enhancement we have done is that the AI agent manager, which was available in the private preview, has been now moved to public preview. You can now very easily go to the manage preview features of your administration application, and you can simply enable the AI agent manager for your tenant. The AI agent manager allows you to create, configure, and run AI agents directly in your tenants. So the AI agent manager allows you to define those agents, and then depending on your use case, you can provide the access to relevant APIs to the AI. Please note, for activating the AI agent manager, you will need to provide a provider of your own choice. You can decide which model you would like to utilize and accordingly provide a key or to the for the AI provider of your own choice. Right now, if you are utilizing the HTML widget and if you have an AI agent manager configured, the HTML widget will also show you an HTML chat option for your for the widget, which you can then use for generating HTML widget via AI. Now moving to Digital Twin Manager. So our users may be already aware that we have been publishing new plugins in Digital Twin Manager via DTM plugins. So now these plugins creates the foundation of the features we have in the application. So over the last year, we had converted many of the features to plugins. For an example, the add asset button, sub assets, the property widget, the navigator, the documentation. So all these are available in DTM as default plugins. Now you can use these plugins in your custom applications and get the same functionality in them without kind of doing a lot of hacks. So now new plugins have been made available in the last quarter. So until now, the link data point feature was available in preview, and the underlying APIs were also available in preview. So the assets API, which were available in preview, has been now moved to GA. And then subsequently, the plugins utilizing them have been also made available in GA. So the data points plugin allows you to link device data points to your asset instances. So you can now easily select the asset to which you want to link the data point, and you can accordingly select the data points coming in from your device and link it to the assets. This allows you to provide more and more context by linking the device data to the asset. And in future, this link can be then utilized for sending data directly to the assets. There are some features which are available in preview where you can try these things out. So in case if you have any existing use case where you would like to try this out, do let us know. Yeah. So detailed documentation has been also made available, which you can refer and try this feature out. This is now available on all the tenants you will be having. One another upcoming feature, which is now already available as a plugin, is the property library plugin. So this is utilizing the digital twin assets definition API. So these APIs have been moved to public preview at the moment, and in the coming month, this will be also made available via GA. The plugin has been already made available. So Digital Twin Manager will be the centralized hub for you for any of the modeling activities you do on Cumulocity. One of that is a very important aspect is creating properties for different use cases. For an example, for your assets, alarms, or your operations, or even. We already had a property library in administration, which were allowing you to create the properties for alarms and events. All those property library is now getting consolidated in Digital Twin Manager, and this plugin does exactly that. So now you can visualize all the properties you already have in a single place, like for assets, for alarms, and even you can define new properties over here. So we have also, so this also utilizes the definitions API, which now also supports new type of properties. For an example, customers reported they would like to also utilize the array type properties. So that type of property has been made available via the APIs, and the next version of property library will also allow you to create the array type of properties from the UI. Similarly, the complex property, which our customers are already utilizing, also now allows multiple nesting via the API. And in future, this may be also considered for providing this via UI as well. In case, if you have some use cases around property library, I would request you to try this out and definitely let us know the feedback. And we can also connect separately to understand your use case in detail. The APIs I referred a minute back, the definitions API and the assets API. The API documentation plugin is also now available to you directly. You can install this documentation plugin in your digital twin or any of the custom application, and then you can directly try the new APIs over here. This is a very detailed documentation. You, depending on your use case, you can utilize, try utilizing these APIs directly in the UI and then utilizing your custom application. If you have any use case where you would like to utilize this these APIs, you would be glad if you can also share that with us. That will also help to learn more and help us improve these APIs further. One important enhancement we have done in these API is by improving the permissions in the API. So in our experience, we have noticed that the assets are generally not sitting in Cumulocity. These are generally maintained outside, maybe in your ERP system, maybe in your CRM, or maybe in any another external system like SAP, Salesforce, or any other. And users generally like to synchronize bulk assets from their system of trust, maybe SAP, Salesforce, and then synchronize them with Cumulocity. And this requires users to also have some fine-grained permissions via which they can decide where their assets are managed, updated, and accordingly kind of provide the relevant permissions to their user. From that learning, we have now improved the permissions for Digital Twin Manager. A tenant option has been made available, and 3 modes have been made enabled so that you can tailor your use case and utilize these permissions effectively. And once you select the relevant asset permission mode, there is a default one, but once you change this one, you can accordingly kind of get more control over the permissions you have. In case if you already have a use case for synchronizing bulk assets between your system of trust and Cumulocity, do let us know. We would be love to understand that and even improve this further. In the coming month, we will be also publishing a detailed tech community articles to explain this in very detail and how this can support you. Do look out or kind of on our tech community portal for that article. Now some updates for the developers. So we had updated our SDK to 10.1023 in the last quarter, and the guidance has been made available on our developer codex for this one. And as I already shown the enhancements we have done in the AI Agent Manager, and we have made it available GA. Along with that, the components which we have used in our applications, like the chat window, which is now available in the AI Agent Manager, AI HTML widget, these components have been also made available into our Web SDK. You can now easily use these components and use this in your custom widgets as well. And one last update for the developers is that we have made available our codex as an application. So on your management tenants, now you can also easily deploy the codex for your end customers in the branding of your choice. And then the further developers can also view those documentation in your branding in the application itself. A very short community update over here. In the last quarter, a few good articles were published on our tech community. So the first article was around providing you a microservice project in Java. This claims to provide you a working mechanism to create your first microservice easily in 5 minutes. So do check out for these articles and keep looking for the upcoming articles as well. And another article was provided by my colleague Christian over here. You can read this if you would like to automate your E2E testing for the plugins. Some last updates. So we have a feedback portal where our customers regularly provide us some feedbacks, and we keep making many smaller changes from there. Some of the notable announcements were that that we had in the last year made available extracted our login part as a separate application, which now allows us to make this application much more flexible. So our users had reported in past that they would also like to log in directly, even in cases when the SSO is available. This may be required in a cases when there is an issue with their SSO settings, or this requires some further administration access. So this is now made available via the new login application. Now, by adding a URL parameter, you can skip SSO and directly make the login. Similarly, there were a bunch of announcements made in the Digital Twin Manager application where you can, where now some of the text were very specifically linked to the app. So now when you provide a translation text for that, it doesn't impact other applications.